and I'll go to big data. And from there, I'll go to SageMaker Canvas. SageMaker Canvas. So this is the link. I'll add it. So give me thumbs up if you're already there. SageMaker Canvas. SageMaker Canvas. I'm going to add a link in the forum also, the first link, and Google Class also. So Google Class has 2 links now. First link will take you to Canvas, and second link will take you to the Landflow. So if you click on it, it will take you here. Give me thumbs up if you're here so we can continue. Good. Everyone is here. Manish, good. Reshma, good. So let's log into our AWS. We're going to do exercise so that way you can easily understand this topic. This is easy topic. It's not hard at all. You will have a like fun ride. So let's log into our AWS console. Remember, we will be in a Virginia. So we'll log into AWS console. And just like we have been logging, signing. You use your account ID. And I'm going to use my IAM user, which is Lex user. And I'm going to log in. Oops. Uh-oh. Did I do trailhead? You know that? Oh, yeah. Thank you. I have 2 accounts. So one account is like, you're right. You are right. So I'm logged in. Let me know if you're logged in as well. Okay. Now go to Google Class and there is a Word document, which is under lab, Data Wrangler lab in Google Class. Data Wrangler in week 6, Data Wrangler, click on this Word document. And we have to download these files. We have to download these files. But let's click on it so you can open the Word document. So you can click on it and then you can also download or open, doesn't matter. But this is the document, you will see it. Normally what I do is I kind of open in Google Docs so I can see the document. Let me repeat one more time. I have done in week 6 under Data Wrangler lab. If it is not visible, refresh it. And we're going to open this file. Okay. And then we should download this file also. So the way I do is I click on it, right? For me, I click on it, right? One by one, I click and I can just download, right? If you, for your cases, like you can open Google Docs, let's say open Google Docs, so it's more readable. And if you want to download, you can download that file also. So here, this is document. You don't have to download Google Doc, but you can see the document. Now here, if I go back here, there are some CSV file I have. If you click on the CSV file, it is visible, right? It's visible here. But if you go back here and right click on open with, right? So let me go back here. So I'll go back here one more time. If I go to this file, just let me show you one more time. I right click on this file and say open in new tab. And I right click and open a new tab. So the way you do, look at this, right click, open in new tab, and right click, open a new tab. So that way whole file will be visible and then you can download it. So you should be able to download it. And the same file, I'm going to click here and I have downloaded and I downloaded the file. So I downloaded 2 files by just clicking this arrow. Right? If you want to download Word document, you can do the same thing, but Word document, you don't have to download. Let me know if you are able to understand what I'm trying to say. This one is instruction. You right click here, open in a new tab. Once the file opens, go to the arrow and download it. Same thing, open, go to the arrow and download. So this way you can download the file. Let me know if you are able to download. So if I go to my download folder, I have two files downloaded. One is customers and one is orders. So if I go here, orders are here. If I click on that, it will also download. Good? Crystal clear? Okay, perfect. So now we have downloaded data file. So let me show you the exercise, how I'm going to do. So this gives you a picture. I think picture will help. What we are trying to do, we are creating ETL process. Again, complete without any code. So we are trying to do ETL process, extract, transform, load. Now, extract is nothing but we have data file, which is in CSV file. So we're going to take the file. Then we'll say, you know what, let me do joins. So we're going to do joins without writing a code. Once we perform joins, we will have some column from here, some column from here, right? We will have more column. So here we'll have like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 column. Then we'll say, I don't need this column. Then we'll say, you know what, I want to rename the column. I want to do some operations. So we're going to do certain steps. That's called transformation steps. Either we are adding column, or we are removing column, or we are renaming the column, or we are changing the column values. We are changing the rows value. And we can also introduce a lot of Python program here also. And once we complete, there are a lot of things you can do. One, you can do data analysis, which is easier. For data analysis, you need data, which is approximately 500 rows, which I don't want to do right now, because if I do that, it will take longer and longer, and we cannot teach class. So right now, I have only 20 records. But when you do the homework, you can do 500 records. Now you say, how can I do 500 records? Use ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT to generate 500 records, and it will generate for you. If you do that, then data analysis will work smoothly. And then you can generate model out of it. And model, you can have prediction, classification, cluster, and you can also deploy also. So that part also, you can do that. Again, I have done all those exercises. So sometimes you might run with the permission issue. The reason, because when you are doing this all exercise, there are so many permission related issue you get. As you get an error, you may need to do like some kind of ChatGPT type of lookup. Hey, I'm getting this error. What should I do? And you will solve that. This whole exercise requires zero code. And that might be good for many of you. So now let's begin. So first thing first, we have to log into SageMaker. So we're going to here, if you are in an AWS console, right? If you're AWS console, if you're logged in, we are going to look for SageMaker UI. So you can see I already have here AWS SageMaker AI. If it is not there, you can just search here SageMaker UI, and you can see right away SageMaker AI is there. Right? This will be a service going forward. They're going to deprecate this one basically. So you will only see AI. In interview, if you are going for certification, there are a lot of questions you may see from Bedrock and SageMaker. Around 20 to 30% exam come from this. So technically you are well prepared. I'm going to give you some study material. So I personally will complete the certificate. This certificate just 6 months back they introduced. So it's not like old certificate. This is a brand new certificate. Last 4-5 months it was a beta. Now they really launched. So it's not like, oh my God, this is just a 2-3 months old certificate, and sooner you get it, better for you. When you have certificate, it's more marketable. And I highly recommend that you go for certificate. Yes, yeah. So now in this certification, they do ask a lot of questions. And one of the questions they do ask about SageMaker, build, train, deploy, and data Wrangler. And data Wrangler, that's the reason I'm covering this exercise. So now let's click on it. And last week, if you remember, we have created our domain and all. So we don't have to create from scratch, because whatever we have done last week will be handy. Our informations will be visible, right? Let me know if you're here. Give me thumbs up. Okay. Right. Tena, good, good. Manish, good, awesome. Now, there are 3-4 questions I can give right away answers, or questions you may see, because I'm practicing those questions for you guys. I'm creating a video as well as quiz. Just want to show you second so you can understand. This is my early morning goes, very early morning. Today morning only I did it. So you can come here, system admin and DevOps. We added 2 quiz. We started like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and we worked on this thing. So this 2, we just did it. So it was not there yesterday. We did it. So this way you can practice. If you do this practice, I can give you, you will pass the certificate. But when you see this thing, most of the questions you will see SageMaker, right? So it's important that you practice. Homework is very essential. When you are doing homework, it will be helpful. Couple of questions. One question definitely they ask about when you are doing this one, the ground truth. Ground truth is nothing but labeling the image. Like this is car, this is this. You as a human, you do ground truth. And the second question they ask about is about this capability about SageMaker. Now, SageMaker has a lot of capability. One capability which we are working on, Canvas. Now, I also did I think Motosi asked last week how to deploy, right? Some reason they have a problem. This tool has a problem. Even what you call Amazon acknowledged that they have a problem. So the solution they came up with how to deploy that. So I have one small lab I found from Amazon. I added that. I completed that exercise that you create your Python program. Then you have to create a Docker image. Now in this class, not everyone knows Docker, so I can't teach you. So there are two ways. You can either create a Docker image or you can pull the Docker image. So when you pull the Docker image, someone has, let's say, create a linear regression, right? Python program. And then they wrap it as a Docker image. So if you download it, then you use that image and you can deploy. I have code, I'll show you in case if you want. Basically, it's just following the instructions which AWS gives you. But in case somebody asks, when you create a model, when you deploy the model, what happens? When you deploy the model, what happens? So technically, model is nothing but simple Python function, or it can be a complex algorithm, right? That algorithm is a program. That program, you want to make it available to rest of the world. So there, you have to normally people do Docker image. Once you do Docker image, then you can say deploy. When you deploy, you are saying how many machines I'm going to deploy. And say I want to deploy in 2 machines. So now your image is running now as a container in two places, and you will have an automatic load balancer URL, and other people will connect. Now, when other people connect that, this connection is called endpoint. What do you call? Endpoint. So here, if you scroll down, they will ask about you're not able to see. Maybe it's internal. 1 second. Are you guys able to see endpoint? It's not here, right? Yeah, here you go. So you can see endpoint. That endpoint is nothing but your program running as a Docker, running on a machine. When you say running on a machine, how many machines? That's your deploy. So when you deploy, you get endpoint. And once you endpoint, anybody can connect to this endpoint and you consume it. And once you're done, you should delete the endpoint. If you don't delete the endpoint, they will charge you because that endpoint is running onto multiple machines. So you will be charged multiple machines. So in case if you want that exercise, I have step-by-step instructions also. Okay. Now at this moment, we are going to zoom in to Canvas. Let's click on Canvas. Click on Canvas. And when you click on Canvas, it will ask you which domain you want, which we will use the default one. This is all last week, whatever we have done. So we didn't delete domain and we have not deleted profile. So if you remember that last week we did this exercise, and I'm hoping all of you will have access. So let's click on Canvas. It may take a minute or two and Canvas will open. And there we will be practicing Wrangler. Give a couple of minutes. While it is doing that, I just want to give you idea where the step-by-step instructions are. Those who are interested in deploying the model, there are 26 instructions, but if you go all the way down, I added link. Oh, where did I put? I thought I added here. Yeah, here. No, this one. Maybe refresh. Oh, this is the Canva. There is another URL, right? Last week we did, but let it come. I'm just going to show you. We have SageMaker Jupyter, right? Last week we did Jupyter, right? So in Jupyter, I added a link. Just want to show you because Montesi asked, I thought it would be easier for you to follow that. So if you go all the way down, I added end-to-end this thing, deploy model using SageMaker. I shouldn't be doing Canvas, but it should be fine. It should be Jupyter. It's my typo. So if I click here, I just want to give you idea that it's not difficult. Just like last week, remember we were doing like Python, we were doing regression and all, right? So this is all you can do, graph and chart, right? The magic starts here. These are all data. Now here is the magic. So here you are saying, I'm going to give my, whatever I'm going to, deploy, I'm going to give this name. Okay? Yeah, it will come as an endpoint, but if you scroll down, next step is training model. Second, here you go. This is good, nothing wrong. And yeah, here you go. So check it out. Here you are saying estimator, and you are saying, I need these machines, right? This, how big machines and how many machines instance I need, 1 or 2, like that, right? Now output path and SageMaker session and all. So if I go down here, there is a link called deploy, and here you will see the complete instructions. Check it out. So here you are saying, I want to start a machine. This is the machine. I need 1 machine. But if you say 5, it will automatically do load balancer, right? And you are saying this is the serializer, and the model you are deploying is called XGB. XGB model you are deploying, right? This instruction will immediately create an endpoint for you. Okay, it may take 2-3 minutes. It will create an endpoint. Now, after you do endpoint, you can also use that. So this is the endpoint name. It will be a URL. Now, if you scroll down, you can use this URL like this. You can say, hey, use this endpoint, and then you can now use the predictor. You can now use data, and you can start applying to the endpoint, and you can see the result. So if you see here, you can apply that, and you can see the result that, hey, might show me this, pass the data. Just like think about your calling web service. There's no difference. Now, if I go back here for a second, I want to show you how they're pulling the, what do you call, image. So, 1 second.
It's purely in Jupyter, right?
Yes. Everything is Jupyter. But I want to show you. 1 second. They did here. 1 second. I just want to give you that thing. This is the hyper thing here. Here you go. Check it out. This is the $1 million line. What it does is the image URIs retrieve. It means somebody has pushed the image to ECR. ECR stands for Elastic Container Registry. So somebody has added that model here. So you are retrieving by giving name, region, and version. If you do that, your name will go here. That information should you give here. Once you give here, this will become a container. Using this container, you are saying, I want to create 1 instance, this size, and other details you are giving. And now this will create your model. Now this model is consumable. Make sense? So they have problems, so you cannot deploy, but they are saying you can deploy through Docker image. Okay? By the time our SageMaker should be ready. Let me know if you are ready. People on phone? Ready? Awesome. So first thing first, we are going to click on data sets. So please click on data sets. I'm assuming you have downloaded 2 data files, which I gave you, CSV file. One is orders and customers you must have downloaded. Yes or no? Okay. So if you have downloaded this file, we're going to import this file in our canvas. So please come here. You go to import, click on import, click on tabular, go to import, click on tabular. So import, click on tabular, give a name. I normally give name same as the file. So example, I'm importing customer. I'll give a customer name, right? So you can give customers or customers, doesn't matter. And then you can say create. Right? Once you do create, remember, don't give a space, just do, and then select from your computer. Click on it. And once you click on it, double click on customers. So it will open the file, and you can see right away, because the file doesn't have a lot more data. So it has customer information. And then you're going to click on preview data sets. click on preview datasets. And that file will be imported in your datasets. See if you guys can click on it. Make sure your file is visible here. And then click on the preview datasets. That file will be visible. Once it's done, you will see customers here. It may take a minute. Once it is done, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please do ask. Good, very good. Good, very good. Awesome. Now, do the similar thing with orders. So go to tabular, give a name orders, then click on create. Because I already have that file, I'm going to do orders pick one because I already have a file. So I think it's crying, right? So I'm going to say create. Again, click on computer. And once you click on it, double click on the orders. So double click on that file, double click on it. And then just say, once you double click, you can say preview datasets. So you can click here, double click on the file, and then your file will be visible. Check that, it's automatically checked. And then you click on preview datasets. And after a minute, you will see both files will be visible. Good? Yes or no? Right? You can see my timing. Sometimes you can see 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I'm uploading, right? So those files are there. At this moment, any questions? Everyone is good? Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to go to data Wrangler. So please understand, data Wrangler is nothing but data flow. Yes, Dana? Any question, Dana?
Yes, I was probably moving too fast, and when I downloaded it as an Excel file. So of course I couldn't find it when I tried to do the tabular.
Oh, but I have CSV. How did you download Excel file?
When I did it to Google and then I said download and it gave me the options and I put Excel. So I need to, it does not, when you say so for data Wrangler, it doesn't work for Excel files. It has to be a CSV.
CSV.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I need to start all over. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. The technique I give is that right click and new tab. That's a technique. It's pretty easy. Right click, new tab. So if you right click and new tab, you get this thing and you by default get arrow. And if you get arrow, then it will be as is CSV file. Right? Okay.
And what were those files that you gave us? They were in our forum, right?
This is in our Google class. Yeah. This is
in Google class. Never mind. Okay. Thanks.
I hope you are seeing this thing, week 6, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I just closed it out.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to here. Go to data Wrangler. Let's go to data Wrangler. So when you go to data Wrangler right now, in this thing, if you have any type of job going, you can see that. So I created my jobs. Data Wrangler means my own flow, right? Now in this situation, you have two choices. You can go to data sets, right? And you click on particular one of them. So like example, I click on customer, pick one of them, right? So when you click on customer, you can see there are steps enabled. Yes, sir. So we're going to click on create data flow. Make sure you check first here. Always see on the screen. Remember, it's very important that you pay attention. Click on create data flow. So customers and create data flow. Good so far? Some of the things I'll show you like as a brand new, some of the things I'll use my existing. So because I can show you, so you can quickly do that. Once your data file, everything will be simple. So let's example, I click on customer, right? And I'm going to click on create data flow. Your screen and my screen will match, right? So when you do that, you will have a new screen. It will ask me the name. So I'll just say customer order analysis. Just anything you want to write, right? Give a name, customer order analysis, right? And now you will see the flow, right? Within a second, you will see nice flow. Good so far? Good. Now, this is very powerful tool. Honestly speaking, they have not done a good job in what you call designing like a Power BI or Tableau. It does almost similar thing as Power BI Tableau does. Technically speaking, it does more than some of the things Power BI and Tableau does. But because maybe they have introduced recently, I think it will go through version. Like I can see that they have a lot of information, so it's not easy to learn. So I kind of did a simple exercise for you to just explore the options. So we can see here, it come here and there is no options available. Everything is hidden. So as a newcomer, you will have always a challenge. What should I do? Because there is no option available, right? So it is a play, you have to play around. So right now you can click on source. You can see, click on source, right? Click on source. And then when you click on source, you have plus sign, right? So you can, if I click on plus sign, you can see here, there is option available. Change, import, refresh. This is the way. So in case if you have to delete this part, then it will start as a brand new, you can edit. But our case is not there. Our case is, listen carefully. If I click outside, right? If I click outside, right? There is no options, but there is a one tiny option available on top. As I said before, the design is not that great. So if you click on add data, because I need two files. One file is customer and one is order. So if you go to add data, and there is options available, right? Tabular, right? So if I click on tabular, and in tabular, I already have orders. So I'm going to select the orders. Make sense or no? Select the order, and then you can just say next. So you can, sorry, customer we did it. Here this time we are selecting orders. So there will be two data source. So if you click on it now, you will see it will show the preview, and you can say import. So you can do preview, and you can say import. So let me repeat one more time. You had a customer. This was there when we came in, right? Then we click on add data, and then it opened that we selected orders. We select orders, it says preview, and they can say import. So when you import, now you have second source. Let me know if you have any questions, people on phone. Are you guys able to do? Good. Okay. Sometimes, your screens are hard to follow. So what you do is there is a small rectangle block. It's kind of fit properly, which I like that. It saves time. So if you click on it, it adjusts that, right? Kind of when your screen is kind of, hard to follow, or you can move it around. So like example, you can hold like this and you can move it around. The choice is yours. You can move it around like that. You can adjust, but sometimes, it's tiring. So I kind of use this one, auto fit, right? Now I want to perform join. I want to perform join of this two. So what you're going to do? So you click on the plus sign, and you can see there is a combined data, right? So you can say click on combined data, and then you can say join. So when you do join, you will have options. Check it out. Make sure you follow along. It's pretty easy when you follow along. Remember, these are all click, click, click. So you just click on join. So you can click on join. So you can see the join. Now, when you click on join, it started understanding that you have one table, which is a left. So you can see the color gives you idea that this is a left. So this is selected as a left, but the right part is not selected. So it's just say, hey, select the node of the data flow. So in this case, I have this one is selected. You can say left is selected. So right, I'm going to click on this one. As soon as I click on it, you will see it will understand. So like right now, left order is selected, which is this one. You can see for my case, left is order is selected. I hope it is readable. In case customer is selected, that's fine, nothing wrong. In that case, orders will be, or if you toggle, basically you need both selected. First, automatically select, and second, you can see right is not there. So I'm going to click here and it is selected. Okay. Now, then I need to go continue further because challenge I will have is I may not be able to cover it other exercise. So maybe this exercise is only 30 minutes. I think we're almost middle. Next exercise you can catch up, which is a totally brand new. So in this exercise, please understand, in this exercise you have choice to make is, do you want to do inner or outer? So you can select that. Now, those who know database, I'm hoping many of you are taking my Saturday class, which is very helpful. I always tell people the database is always foundation. You want to take data from inner means both should have common, which I have purposefully designed. I have created such a way that customer ID exists in both, right? And some of the cases you will have order information, some of the cases your customer information. So you can play around, just clicking one button and you can play around. So again, for time being, we're going to keep it like that. In case the column which you selected, it's automatically, if it's selected wrong, you may want to select also. But it is so smart. It is unbelievable smart. You will see it will do a lot of good things, and that gives you joins. Now, if I say preview, if I click on preview, please understand, if I click on preview, it will show me join details. We can show you join details. So you can say left, right, and this is the outer. You might see customer ID 0 and you will see customer ID 1. Why? Because that column exists in both tables. Make sense? And that is the first step you follow. The first step, hey, I have multiple tables. After I have multiple tables, I did join, and that is my one transformation steps. So you can see here literally the orders has only order ID, customer ID, date, and cost. While customer ID, name, email, and city and state is exist in a customer table. But you can say output, which is our join, inner join, you have all columns. So you're doing now merging, right? Now I'm going to do add. As soon as I click on add, that item will be now visible in my flow. And you can see now step added join. You can always drag it back like that, so you can see join. Any questions so far?
So if my table is not joinable,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have any common data.
Then you don't do perform join.
So it will show, it will not show.
It will independent. Yeah, it won't show.
Yeah.
It won't show. But you need to know, like, are you doing join or you are independent? You can do independent. Like example, if I want to analyze only this table, right? I can do that straight. Right? But in that situation, you are not going to perform join. This is something you want to do, right? This is ETL. So you are transforming by doing join. So now let's go further. Now we are going to add, I'm just going to show you some example, because there are, if you ask me, hundreds of examples, but that's not the intention of our time. You will play around. So if I here, if I click on it, you can see a lot of options available. Now, some of the options, as I mentioned before, even AWS is not knowing why it's not working. So they are also working on it. So one of the options, which is, you can see here, chat data prep. It means whatever you are doing manually can be done through automatic. So I can say, I want, like, you write a story. I want to have 2 tables, join it, group it, new filter. It will do for you. So you write it in English and it will do all steps for you. So technically, those who are doing manually, completely gone. That step is right now not working. Second thing, data insight. This is very interesting. Data insight, you can see analysis, predictions, and all you can do. This works better if you have, 500 records. Because if you have 500 records, you can do classifications, you can do predictions, and all kind of insights you can do. So you can try. I'll show you, you will get some of the errors. So if you click on here, right, always I get error. If I can show you here, I will be very happy, but you can see this is the error you continually get. I did reach out to AWS and they're still not able to answer the question. But every time you get this error. So far, so good. Okay. Now you can see here, this is the column. Let's say I want to play around. So here, one step you did join, but you can see these distributions. So it gives you idea how your data is distributed. So you can see this is all informations are kind of unique, right? You can see here, this some of the values are repeated multiple times. This is list repeated, this is more, and this is more, right? Here you can see some of the date, we have more orders. So you kind of give kind of visual idea This is the visual idea how this will work. Make sense? Now let's click on add transform, click on transform, add transform, add transform. Now you can see there are tons of options available. I'm going to touch the surface because my goal here is just to give you idea the Wrangler is powerful. I don't want to ignore it because it's not a huge exercise. I just want to make sure my huge exercise is land flow. But I want to make sure because last week we didn't cover and I don't want you to feel, oh my God, I never used Wrangler. You will be able to do that. So you can have example. If you want to filter row, you can select here. Let's example, we select here just for clicking here. So I click on filter row. So just like, the people who write SQL command, you don't need to write SQL command. You come here and you follow just the steps and it does amazing job. So if I click on here, it is asking what column you want to select. So like example here, let's say, I'm just trying to make it here. Let's say customer, anything you can pick, like that customer ID 0. So this is my column, right? Again, those people who are not able to do lab, you can do the lab later. I'm recording the session. I want you to pay attention and just see here. We are not doing any coding. We're just doing clicking, but time is limited. I want to maximize the maximum time. The customer ID means I'm selecting here. Again, you can pick any column. It's not like I have to select this. You can select first name, whatever it is, you can select it, right? Now condition. For time being, let's say we want to write, hey, I want to do this one, right? So, or you can say this one, whichever you like. So here, your conditions, let's say I want to say not equal to, let's say not equal to, right? And then value, let's say I say value. Values in my case, I have C00, I'm assuming I need double quotation, C001 because it's a string. Let's see that. And I'll say add. If this condition works, it will remove because I'm saying not equal to. So it will remove C001. I'm using double quotation because it's a string. And let's see now, add. And you can see that C001, did it apply or no? Seems like did not apply. So let me go back. I click here and remove the double quotation. Maybe it works straightforward, right? And update. Now it worked, right? So you can see that this is your select statement. So if you have studied database, right? Select, start from table where customer ID is not equal to C001. Any questions, concerns?
So when usually we do that only for transformation and getting the data ready, this kind of things.
Yeah, so almost any data analysis project you do, cleaning will require. We are not done yet. I have a few more to topic. I want you to see the power of Python. So those who know Python, it's a game changer. In a few minutes, I'll show you. This is just a beginning, right? You can do column. So I'm keeping it, right? I'm done with this. So I'm just going to keep it, right? I'm going to minimize this thing. So I have 2 steps, right? Now, let's say I want to do here some kind of splitting, or I want to change column or drop column. Like example, I have 2 columns. Let's say I want to drop this column. Suppose I want to drop it. Again, you're going to do add transform and you search because there are a lot of things, as I said before, you hide it. It's impossible to find all those things. So you may want to do drop, right? And you can write column if you can. So it kind of narrow down what you're looking for. Make sense? So you can see here some of the area where it will give you idea what to do. So you can see more drop column data sets, right? So when I do drop column, it give a link. How bad it is. Look at this. You have to find and then you have to click on it because they have not done a great job in make it visible. That's a bad part. So if you click here, now you get options. You see that? So, and you have all other options. It's not one option. There are tons of options. Like example, if you want to rename, you want to do move, you want to do concatenation, there are tons of options. For our case, we want to do drop. And let's say I want to drop customer ID 1. So I can select customer ID 1. Customer ID 1, just select it. And if you click outside and you can say add. So if you read carefully what it says, I'm going to drop this column. So in our case, it will be like this. And we are going to add. It means this column will be gone, right? Please understand. Again, I'm hoping you can see that it's so simple, but so powerful. The reason it is powerful, because as you go further, I'll show you. I have never seen such kind of capability in Tableau or Power BI, because there are tons of things. So I'm going to show you one example. All the instructions in case if you know the Word document, which I gave you in my Word document, all instructions are step by step. So please don't feel I'm ignoring you. All the instructions are there. Goal is like you follow along, but in case if you're not, all the instructions are here step by step. We have this file, right? Customer file, then we have this file, and then we import this file, then we import step by step. I added that. So this way you can follow, and we are trying to do this flow, right? So it's not like, oh my God, I missed that, right? You can see that we are trying to follow. Goal of X is I'm giving you touch point so you can go forward. You can perform rename column, you can drop column, you can do other. But I like about this Python integration. So let's do that. So if I come here, let's say I have this column name, and I realize that I want to split this column, first name and last name, right? And there is a way you can split it by normal transformation, but can I introduce something? So here I want to do add transform. So please click on add transform. And here, please understand, here it is interesting. If you click here, see this, look at that. You click here, it just give you custom formula. And now you can run Spark. This is unbelievable. You can learn PySpark. PySpark, in case if you do not know, is Python Spark. So you can use Hadoop capability. You can do parallel processing without writing too much code. But if you know just Python, you can do that also. So let's say if you click on it. So now it is asking me, hey, I want to do, no, sorry, my mistake. I didn't want to select Spark SQL. Sorry for that. I want to select Python. Yeah, this one. I will select this one, custom transform. So if I click on it, what I like about it, please, are you guys up with me so far? We are doing custom transform. In case if you're not, let me repeat one more time. I have a blank and I'm selecting custom transform. So if I click on it, it gives me options, bunch of options. The beautiful part about here, you can write any Python program and you can transform. So please understand the way it works here. This entire thing is called data frame. Data frame is nothing but Excel in memory. Data frame is nothing but Excel in memory. And then you need to know a little bit array to pull the columns. So you can see, hey, I want this column. Again, those who are studying Python, I do teach this class. So in Python, I do teach how to play with the data frame. So there is a whole 3-hour class where I teach how to access data frame. I'm just right now touching the surface. You don't have to do Python. You can use normal, what do you call, Excel type of thing. But why am I explaining? Because if you're a complex thing, like, and you want to run that, how you do that? So here I'm going to say split, I'm giving name, split, customer name, I would say customer name. So that's what I'm splitting. Now they have done a pretty good job here. They have done example. So those who are naive, right, you can read the example, which will give you clue what to do. So if I go here, I'm making bigger so you can see better. If I click on example, they give you ready-made example. See here, ready-made example. So example, mask PII. This is interview question. Mask PII. So like example, if you have social security number, if you have email address, if you have phone number, and if you want to mask in the sense of no one should read about it, you can do that also. If you want to chunk, like take first few character, last few character. If you want to extract some data, like example, you can say, you know what, in this file, I want to get this. If you want to do prompt engineering, right? If you do text from PDF, lots of things. So here there is if you scroll down somewhere, you will see split. So if you scroll, a lot of things they have given, right? So I'm going to search here if I can split. What is that? Yeah, here you can see split text into rows. We can do that. But what I have done is I use a different way, ChatGPT, right? So if I go here in my Word document, remember I gave you Word document. So if you go to my Word document, and how did I get it Word document? Word document we got through week 6. Week 6, this is the Word document. right? You can open it in a Google, or you can right click and open new, whichever works. And if you go there in the Word document, you will see this code, right? Let me know if you are able to see this code. I can just give you a high level walkthrough. So this is like a custom formula which we are trying to do. Now this is like a Python library you are importing. Again, you don't see, remember, now we are getting into world where we are, let's say you're driving car, right? You're driving car, and in this situation, your goal is not to understand how car works. Your goal is to drive car, right? What is your goal? Your goal is to do data analysis and move forward. Because if you try to go deeper, trust me, it will take a lot more time. Everything is complex because it's all deeper, right? What this is ChatGPT gives, or even the code sample gives, is this thing. They're importing the library, and in that library, there is a function called split. Now, in that split function, we are saying, hey, I have to divide into 2 columns. So I have 1 column. I want to create 2 columns. Okay. Then they're asking, what is the separator here? So separator is first name, space, last name. So there is a space is a separator. Again, you can see it, custom readable code, right? If you scroll down, now what you're saying, split, the column name is, my column name was name. So I'm saying, take the name, and first column will be column, separator, and maximum column number is 2. It means I need to divide this column into 2 columns. Once you get it, we are saying select df columns, right? And column get item for IT range. Basically, this will do that. Df is nothing but data frame. And now you're going to get this information. So now let's see. So if I can, so split column, and I will get a df back. So if I copy this portion here, do Control C. I'm copying this portion from here itself. Okay. This, right? And go back to your, and here, you see the chat portion like this one? You paste it here, Control V, Control V. So your code will look like this. Basically, you are creating split first item and you're taking second item. So you're creating 2 columns using this command. If this is successful, I should expect 2 columns added, right? Remember, this code, I can get it from ChatGPT. You can get, now you may say, but how do I get it? If you first search a little bit, I can show you in front of you. Even this is not a rocket science. Look at this. I'm using, the only thing you need to give your prompt, right? So example here, like I'm in data Wrangler, sorry, AWS data Wrangler. I want to split one column string which has space separator into 2 columns. Provide Python program. Very simple. You can write Python, you can write PySpark, and you can see the code will come very similar. So they give you complete hint, right? Step by step, right? Now, in your column, split column, there are n numbers of ways you can do it. So it's not like one way, right? If I change this column, like example here, right? I change it, a little bit more information. Hey, I'm in AWS data Wrangler. I want to split 1 column instead of, I want to split column, right? Column name, column, and then in parentheses, I'll say name, values, right? From string which has into 2 columns, provide PySpark program. PySpark pandas program. Again, I'm giving more hint that, hey, I need more information. It will do for you. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So here you can see the same concept. You take it. It is using this concept, right? Giving me information, first name. If I do that, it will work exactly the same way. So it's not like one way. There are millions of ways you can do that. Now, if I come here, And if I apply this thing in our add, I want to see, is this adding 2 columns? If I click add, there's an error. Did I made something? Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. I click add and I say update. So now it did successfully. It shows like it's success. There's no error. So if I scroll on the right side, you will see 2 columns. Do you guys agree? And pretty good job. Any questions so far? Good. So this part is working fine. Now I'm gonna go back here. So let me go back to again data flow. So I'm gonna click on data flow. So now you can see the data flow is pretty not coming into the one screen. Again, this is magic. Always do this so it can fit properly. So I click on the tab, data flow tab, and then I click on this so it kind of fit properly. Now, if you want to bring this guy closer, just do that so you can more readable. Let's say I want to now rename the column. So you click here. As soon as you click add transform, play around. There are a lot of things available. Like example here, if you see here, this one is supposed to be first name and this is supposed to be last name. So I can click add transform, right? So you can say rename, right? Rename. And when I do rename, it found manage column has renamed, right? So I can click on manage column. Makes sense or not? Now I can say there's a drop column, there's a rename. So here I'll say which column is original column. Original column is here split name to 0. So if I scroll down, split to 0, right? And I say this is my first name. So please pay attention. I'm saying, this is the column I'm using. And I'm going to now name this column as a first name. And then there's a plus sign. Click on plus sign. At the same time, we'll rename this as a last name, right? So click on plus sign. And here you're going to select, scroll down all the way, select this and last. So in one shot, you're going to rename both columns. Make sense? Here you rename. This is for this one. This is for this one. First column will be known as a first name. Second column will be known as a last name. And then you're done. Click on your add. So my screen is a little bit, okay. Click on add and it will be done. Good. You can change the data types if you want. Like example, you see how nicely it happened. You can change like example from date to convert data transformation, but you got the idea. And that's all I want to walk you through. That transformation, if you spend like, you can spend like hours and hours, but depends on your project need, depends on your data. Like example, your null. So you have to filter null. If you're duplicates, there is option, lots of options. Like example, if you click here, let's say I want to remove duplicate rows. So you can just say drop, right? So here you can say drop, right? Duplicates. Make sense? Like example, drop column or drop rows. Right? You just type and then you have to see they have hundreds of options. The problem is it's not visible. So you have to find that, right? Example, you need to do group, right? So if you do group, then you can click on that, the group by. So if let's say in this case, let's say I want to do group by what you call city, right? So you can do group by city and you can visualize. In short, you can keep doing. At this moment, any questions? Good. So now there is options available called analyze. So let's click on analysis. So when I click on analysis, this one normally errors out, but I think I still want to show. If you have, listen carefully, if you have 500 records in each file, you can use these files and it will create nice regression for you. And you can start predict. So you can start predicting. Like you can predict what will happen. So right now here I'm doing an analysis. So like example, I said target column is cost. So if I click on it, it's going to give me option that, hey, for cost, you can do regression or classification. This normally doesn't work if it is a large, small subset of data. If you're large, then it will work properly. So if you try right now, let's example, if I click on regression, just an example, I want to do regression. It is asking me, do you want to take sample data or you want to do full data sets? If I do sample data set, it will be instantly. If I do full set data set, it will take approximately 5 to 10 minutes to do that. Again, that's why I kept less data. When you do this thing in the homework, create a 500 records, or maybe more than 500 records. In case if you do not know how to create a 500 records, I'll give you techniques. See here, create a CSV file, create a CSV file for customer like that. This is what I normally do, customer, and write here, add customer ID, name, email, right? City, it will understand that I need a column, right? Repeat sum of customers. I would say not repeat, I'll say sum of customers are living in same city and state. Generate. That's a 1000 records. Just for let me not be greedy. 500 records, maybe 501. That might be okay. So it is generating. So don't think, oh my God, how do I create it? This kind of tool, if you not use this AI advantage, see, right, this file is there, how hard it is, right? And you download it. AI is supposed to be your enablement. AI should not be like scary, right? So it's very important. I generated this file because creating data itself is very challenging. So rather than we create manually or Excel through, you use this tool, it does amazing job, right? I can do the same thing. At this moment, everything looks good. Let's click on data. If you try it out, you will get an error. If you click on that, you will error out. It worked for you? Oh, it worked. That's good. Oh, it worked. So that's good. So you can see now, without writing code, you're trying to do analysis, which is good. So here it is giving me number of features. Number of features mean total columns, number of rows, right? This is high level. See if it's working. Okay, good. So here you can see that it is giving me order ID and data. So it's giving basically distributions you can get here. So it's kind of worked very nicely. So you can see like all the column information, histograph and all. So you can see analysis. There's one thing I want to show you. If I can, let's go back to right now. I'm trying to do create model. Let's see. I think you will get an error. So let's say I want to create a model here. See here, please. I'm going to do create model, right? So now I'm trying to create a model, which is the ultimate goal. Remember, we did not write a single line of code. What model we are doing? So please understand, there is an interesting thing happens, which is a lot of hidden agenda. So this is like a pure source, customer pure source, order is pure source. You did all those things, and now your final source is like this. So in this final source, what it does, model perspective, interesting thing, it divides this into three segment. It doesn't tell you, but the exercise which I was explaining about deploying the model, if you do that, you will understand how it works. So this is your 1000 row, right? From 1000 row, it will automatically divide the rows. 20% row will be training data. Then it will use another 20% or 40% for test data. And then another 20% they will use for validate data. So first it will train, and from there, it will generate a model that if you give me some next data based on training, I can predict. So that's called test data. So test data is model is trained. Now you are trying to give test data. So it will predict, but you also have actual data because you are split it. So it will say, oh, training data, test data you're giving, you predict and you actual. So it will try to see the difference. Once it figure it out that, then you try to do something which you did not give, and it will start predicting. In this whole model, it has a couple of options to use. One, it uses regression, classification, and clustering. So let's try it. So if I click on create model, it will ask me what is the model name and all. Now you select target column, which is nothing but predictive. You are predicting, right? So here you are trying to do predictive analysis. If I click here, there are a couple of options available. So you can see here, you can do predict single, multiple category. You can also do tabular, or you can do customization foundation model. This part at this moment is not working. The foundational model, when it comes, is called AI, which seems like not working. You can try it out if it works for you. So right now, predictive analysis is fine. This is your target column, which you want to predict. Then it will ask how long you want to predict. So like example, I have data for 2016, suppose. And if I want to predict next one, those are how long you want to predict, means 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So we can do that as well. Now let's click on export and create model. So if I click on that, it will take me to the next screen where for most cases it error outs. It says you don't have 500 records. Let's see what it's doing. Most cases it error outs that you don't have 500 records. Look at that. Yes or no? So it won't go further because we don't have 500 records. But when you do the exercise at your end, try to do more than 500 records. So you will see a model will give you options. Now, how you configure it? A little bit further, you can click on configure model. Click on configure model. The configure model is nothing but you're fine tuning a little bit. So example, you can say which item column uniquely identifies. So if you click here, customer ID is uniquely order ID, my bad. Customer ID is fine. Customer ID is uniquely identified. The group column, which column you want to do group, it's optional. I'm not selecting. It is asking time series. So in our case, automatically it select date because the order date is the date. Now it is asking how long you want to predict. Let's say I want to predict for 4 days, right? So this is my unique column. This is the time series column. Time series column means when you predict, you do need time series. So you can predict like data, like what will be in the future, like that. Now, if I do save, it will try and it will error out. Because it won't enable this thing because it is finding that we don't have 500 plus record. Any questions so far? If you create model, what will happen? It create a Docker image and put it into ECR. At this moment, it should have, if it worked, it create an image and put it into ECR. That ECR you can use in what you call, go back to your Jupyter and you can use it. Anybody can use it as long as it's available in ECR when you deploy it, right? Now here this small tool shows up when you are doing this exercise called data visualizer, which is also interesting tool. If you click on data visualizer, so in data visualization, depend on your data, you can kind of visually see. So example here, I have scatter plot, but there's no numeric column, only one column numeric. So example, if I have cost, quantity, discount, profit, then I could do cost versus profit. I can do graph, right? I don't have that. So let's click on bar chart. So click on bar chart. So in bar chart, it gives me this option, right? Multiple options, the columns are enabled. So there is a concept we always call, if you are doing bar chart, this one is your category or dimension. Dimension means which one you want to do grouping. So here, let's say I want to do grouping based on city. So you drag city and drop here. And then here, we will normally keep numeric value. So in numeric value, we have only cost. So click here, city, you drag and drop. So city is here and you drag and drop cost. So you can see what's going on in this world. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see this thing. Again, this is all about high level visualization. So you can see that if somebody asks question, which city you are doing more sell, then definitely Rockford, Pioneer, and Chicago, right? If you want to do box plot, you can just click on box plot, right? Same concept. So if you want to do compare like some of the things, so example, let's say I want to do comparison for, let's say state remains same. So here I'll say first name, let's assume first name I've added, and let's say cost. So it kind of give you idea. There are many people out there. So you can see that Michael, Emily, and Charles, and Patricia, these are the people who are buying more. Now, who is buying more? Of course, Emily is the most popular customer, and then Charles will be the second. So you are comparing with the box plot. Again, if you are taking data analysis class, I do cover how to interpret this. In case if you are interested in crash course, I'll tell you, this is highest, which is called max. This is the minimum. So first, think about that bell curve. So this is like maximum, this is the minimum. So minimum is 0, maximum is let's say 100. Then this line, you see white line, that's your middle point. And then you see like this box plot, which is nothing but like this way, which is 25% here. This line you see here, that's a 75%. And then if you, normally we do bell curve like this, but instead of bell curve, they have done this way. Now you can see, you can easily understand what they have done. So now if you read carefully, it shows that you have a higher, means people are buying more than middle point, right? It means good. If you see this one, it's kind of middle points equally. If you see this equally. So when I compare these customer versus this customer, I always see this middle point. Who has a higher middle point? It means they are buying more, right? This one shows distribution. So if somebody asks, this is 0, this is 25. So 0 to 25%, no one is buying. But 25 to 50, this many people are buying. 50 to 75, this is buying. 75 to 80, 100, no one is buying. So this will give you an idea how people are buying. If this bar is all the way here, then people are buying more. So box plot normally used for comparison purpose. Box plot also kind of used for how our data is distributed. And it gives you idea. So if you want to compare two different company or two different product, box plot is very helpful because if you draw a line, middle point, so this one is definitely higher than this. And the data distribution means, like example, if this is a 50 point, just 50, and this is 70, just an example, and this is let's say 30, just an example. Data is very unique, means distributed properly here. And here it's condensed, which is called density. So more density means they're closer to each other. It means if this is 50, just an example, then this is like maybe 55, and this is 45. It means data is not distributed too much. So if company has this type of thing, it means salary band is pretty good. It means you have a large number of like jump. If you have this band, means salary will be limited in that band. Any questions, concerns, doubt? That's pretty much I want to cover for data Wrangler. Before we come out, make sure you log out, because if you don't log out, you will be charged. So click on log out. Log out. So if you log out, you won't be charged. This was our first exercise.